Joining us now to discuss that and more is the founder of Cryptex, Joe Sticco, and senior economist with the American Institute for Economic Research, Julia Cartwright. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is a good morning. So, Joe, shares of Trump media spiked off the news. So, in layman's terms, what does this stockpile actually mean?
So, essentially, the president is building up a stockpile of Bitcoin, as well as other companies that are doing the same thing. They're accumulating Bitcoin for their balance sheet to essentially bring the asset to corporate shareholders. And this is something that we expect to continue with other digital assets. So you're going to have the president now, Trump Media is acquiring Bitcoin, several other entities are acquiring Bitcoin, and eventually this is going to flow into other assets as these companies continue to build their war chests of digital assets on the blockchain and grow their opportunities for shareholders.
Yeah, I got my little sliver of crypto that I'm trying to actually stockpile myself.
Yeah, I appreciate that disclosure, John. And I mean, if you even have a little sliver, crypto has been rallying. Bitcoin is over 119,000. But Julia, I want to get into the risks and rewards of cryptocurrencies, which have become more intertwined with the financial system. Industry heavyweights are racing for a long-sought goal of turning real-world assets into digital tokens. So why are they looking for this tokenization? And for our viewers to break it down, what does that even mean? This way we're all on the same page here.
So one thing about riskiness that just got passed last week is regulation surrounding the crypto space. So the House just passed its version of the Genius Act, which puts this in a position to compete much more firmly with traditional finance. Also, the Clarity Act provides guardrails for the system as well, and that is going to the Senate, which will hopefully be voted on in September. So as much volatility as is associated with crypto, it's going to become a lot more secure and less volatile with this new regulation that's being passed.
Interesting. Well, for those of you out there that don't understand crypto, just know we are talking about some serious money here. The latest example, startup BitGo, joining the crypto IPO rush just yesterday as the crypto sectors climb to a $4 trillion market value. That's huge. And has reignited some interest in IPO offerings. So what's your take on this, Joe? I mean, it seems like this is going to actually start more people rushing to the market to get capital to be that, let's say, top 1, 2, 3 choice among consumers as well as institutional investors.
Absolutely. I think that this is just the beginning. I think that the markets are going to boom over the next several quarters. And as different assets come into the picture, like for us, for Cryptex, we're building like an index of like digital assets, essentially the S&P 500 of crypto, where it's multiple assets that can be acquired by an institution or a bank. And with the passing of the Genius Act and all of these new regulations that are coming, we were just at the White House. We had a chance to watch the signing of the Genius Act. And I think what the president and his team are doing are opening up the digital asset space to every institution, bank in the country. So now you're going to see multiple new offerings. You're going to see multiple ETFs, ETPs, and all different things that continue to build this industry.
Yeah, so speaking of the Genius Act, let's hear from President Trump and his take on the importance of it.
Very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Come a long way since the Biden administration, when they had no idea what you were all talking about, and half of you were under arrest for no reason whatsoever.
So, Julia, as you were talking about, the Genius Act really allows for more regulation and ban yields or interest payments on regulated stablecoins. So does he have reason for optimism here? And again, we're giving a bit of a primer on crypto in this segment. If you can explain stablecoins and their importance. Julia.
Definitely. The legislation really paints some regulatory guardrails for the entire ecosystem, which is what the industry is desperately needing and has desperately wanted for years now. And this is really important for the U.S. economy because it allows many people abroad to hold U.S.-backed stablecoin. Over 98% of stablecoins are backed in the U.S. dollar, which strengthens our position in the world as the reserve currency, and really puts the American economy on a solid footing. Stablecoins, what they are, is digital assets that are pegged to typically a fiat currency, the majority of which are pegged to the U.S. dollar and backed by Treasury bills. So not only is this going to strengthen our currency, it's also going to put us in a better position and increase our demand for debt as well.
You know, Joe, there might be some people that may be hesitant out there, and they might have some good cause. When you look, I'm old enough to remember the dot-com bubble. Something brand new, it seemed like it was the wave of the future, and some of those investments paid off, but then again, it was a bubble. And a lot of people lost money. So people remember the stock market ups and downs. Why is cryptocurrency different in your view in terms of its long-term sustainability?
Well, I think if you look at Bitcoin in the sense of it being digital gold and something like Ethereum being the world computer or app store, these are going to be like the gold and oil of the digital age. And they're definitely going to have a little bit more of a safety net than some of the other more speculative cryptocurrencies that are out there. The same way that certain stocks have more blue chip relativity to more speculative assets. So I think that at the end of the day, you approach it like anything else. You stick with your gold and your oil and your more safer blue chips. And then if you want to diversify a little bit more down the line into things that are more speculative, you can do that. But just do that with the understanding that, like everything else, there are no guarantees. Things are speculative in nature. But sometimes that's where the biggest opportunity lies, and just approach it with investing what you're comfortable in risking and just doing the best that you can.
That's great advice. Diversification. Can't go wrong there. Joe Sticco and Julia Cartwright, thank you so much for joining us.